Good evening. It is Thursday. It is time for the Caz and Daz show. You can see I'm full of energy. Is it just because I've been drinking Coke Zero? No. Is it just because I've been joined by Kaz Bullock, the empress of Manchester basketball? Also no. But Kaz, firstly, tell us how you're doing.
I'm good. I'm great. Thank you. I've had a very busy week commentating 3 games, I think, in a week. But it's been fun. And we've had some awesome basketball to watch. That was it.
Jealous.
I felt like I was going to say something else. I didn't. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm incredibly jealous of all the games that you've been able to call this week. Finally, the men's program with the London Lions are back at home on Sunday, Cupbox Arena, BBL player. You know the drill. Watch it. Hear me. Hear Nigel Lloyd. The man's won an MVP. Man's a legend. You love to see it. But that's not the only individual. That's rubbish. That's not the only thing, London Lions, that we're going to talk about today. We're not going to just talk about the London Lions. That's absurd. Listen, why am I playing this? You know what you're here for. You are here for the one, the only London Lions' own forward/guard, Cassie Breen. How are you doing, Cassie Breen?
How are you doing, guys? I'm doing well.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. It's absolutely fantastic to have you. WBBL trophy champion. Absolute dominant performance from your good self, 25-4 in the big win over the Nottingham Wildcats. So I think that's probably a good place to start there, if that's okay. Yeah. Just tell us about Sunday. Just how was the whole experience for you?
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere. I mean, there was no fans, but I think the BBL and WBBL put on a really great event just to create that atmosphere. The play was amazing. It's always good to play Nottingham, and they're a great club. Tough loss with Joyner's injury. Wish her all the best and hope for a speedy recovery. But you know, I can't do it without my teammates off screens and the assists from the MVP Kennedy Leonard. So she's great. I love to play with her. I love to play for Mark, and yeah, I'm just really grateful for this club. And it was actually my first championship in Europe. So yeah, so that was pretty exciting as well. And to do it with this team that we kind of we never played together, but we have such great chemistry on and off the court. So it's really awesome. Really great to go day in and day out with them.
Something I noticed watching you guys and having seen you just on the bench and stuff, you have so much energy as a team, and like you look really loose on court. You look like you're having fun, and especially without having fans in the venue, is that something that really helps you on court, having that kind of chemistry?
Yeah, I think as the starters kind of flow in and out of the game, I think we try to mesh with the younger kids that don't really play much, and we just try to cheer on everybody on the court, because that's a big asset to have, is just that fandom kind of feeling that the players can be on court. So yeah, I think and we just love to play with each other. That's just something that I think starts with Mark and how our practices are run. Our practices are really, really exciting, really fun, and we're also super competitive at the same time. It's not an unusual day if I'm going up to Paige and talking some smack, or I'm going up to Shanice or even Ken, and we're kind of having those battles in practice. So I think Mark understands that that's where it starts, and he allows us to be the players that we are.
How have you found that partnership with, as you say, the MVP of the game, Kennedy Leonard?
I love playing with Ken. I mean, she loves to dish the ball, and she's also a great scorer. And obviously, you see her getting some rebounds as well, so she can do it all. And having a point guard like that, like she said in the intro video for the game, who wouldn't want to play with a player like that, and who wouldn't want to coach a player like that? She is such a great leader. She, it helps me, that she loves to pass the ball, because I'm able to come off screens. I'm able to, cut a little bit more. I'm able to kind of have that Klay Thompson feel a little bit, where I don't necessarily want to put the ball on the floor a lot of times. I do when I can, but coming off screens is like what I really love to do, catch and shoot. So have a point guard like that is really, really great great asset for us and me at the same time. So
How have you found your first season with the London Lions? First season playing in England as well.
yeah, it's been really great. I mean, I can't lie, I was a little shaky on when I first came over here, seeing the season that they had, the last, 0-16 season. So that was definitely on my mind. But I came here for a bigger reason as well. I'm actually getting my master's at the University of East London. So yeah, being able to kind of have that student athlete feel like I had in college and playing with, yeah, just reiterating what I've been saying, a team like this it really helps kind of like the two student athlete kind of life mesh together. So yeah, I've been finding the program in London really great, and like it's all an experience, and being able to have this opportunity to play overseas, let alone getting a master's at the same time, is something I'm really grateful for.
What was the conversation with? I assume it was with Mark Clark. Was it with Mark about bringing you on board and with here's the Masters, but also last season didn't quite go to plan, but how was that conversation?
Yeah, so he definitely had to like kind of ease my mind a little bit in coming. And the fact that he was throwing out names that I knew I played against, and actually met people on this team before. So it's kind of funny, like we've all kind of met each other in some way, somehow before we came, or we've been coached by the same people, and it's kind of it's really interesting. So I actually played Shanice in college. I met Kennedy at an NCAA conference. Paige went to the same school as one of my assistant coaches. So it kind of all meshes together. Me and Chantel, we played against each other in Spain. So it's all kind of like it was meant to be. We were all meant to meet at this one point in London. So it's kind of crazy, but it works.
What is your master's in? Just out of interest.
It's applied positive psychology and coaching. So yeah, my goal is to get this. I really love psychology, and possibly just go back to the States in a couple years and get a coaching job and kind of live out the dream of a Division 1, Division 2 coach, and have fun teaching the kids the process, and yeah, hopefully they enjoy the experience as much as I did.
Can we ever see a Dr. Breen on the sidelines, coaching, or maybe even Dr. Breen playing? There is a
Yeah.
Dr. Hulme playing for Seven Oaks.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I would honestly. That's I talk about it all the time. I would get my doctorate. I just don't know what I would want to focus in. I really like to relate basketball, because I think basketball is a great sport to relate to real life. You're working with different people from different backgrounds, and you kind of have one goal, and that's kind of like business or life in general. Yeah, as much as you have individual goals on the court, you also have to mesh with the team goal as well. So maybe that will be my research. So
Now I know we don't have a huge amount of time with you, obviously, being a top pro basketball player, quite busy. But just talk us through your European adventure. So you left university with your Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Sports Management in 2018, and then straight into playing pro in Spain. Tell us about that.
yeah, it was definitely a shock. I was, I got a contract in Gran Canaria, Spain, one of the most beautiful places that I've ever seen, and it was in Europe. It was a little bit of a shock because I've never been overseas. I've never been that far. But the basketball was, unbelievable. Spanish basketball is so much different than, a lot of places in Europe and even America. So, but it was a really great experience, and I'm always grateful for being a part of that club, and just that place in general. Just seeing Gran Canaria. And then after that, I was off to Freiburg, Germany, the next contract, and totally different from the first place that I've been. I was in Gran Canaria, and this was a little bit more like Michigan, a lot more greenery. Michigan doesn't have any mountains or large hills, but Freiburg had that kind of dense Black Forest and all that stuff. So yeah, that was great. Our team actually was on like a really big winning streak before the COVID hit, and we were really excited about playoffs. Ended up going home, had a lot of time at home just to think and kind of sit with what I wanted to do next. I always felt like I almost had too much time on my hands when I was just playing basketball. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're living the dream, you're living the life, you're just playing basketball, twice a day for, 7 days a week. And I wanted to, I knew basketball wasn't going to be forever. And, I know basketball is not going to be forever. Body gets worn down, and it's only one part of, a segment of life is how I kind of look at it. And I was just like, I kept seeing this kind of opportunity to go over to England and get a master's. So I thought it was only for like fresh out of university states, but I ended up talking to some people. I talked to my agent, and they gave me to Mark, and Mark was kind of my resource for a lot of the times navigating it, and Tope as well, who is one of our assistant coaches that helps out the program. And yeah, and it was kind of a done deal, and I was just like, all right, I'm looking forward to it. And it's in a city that not a lot of people are able to go to in America, and I get to go on it and kind of have a lot of it taken care of for me, and experience not only school but tour around the town. And England and London in general have so much history, and it's just amazing. Me and my family kind of geek out about history, so having me go here and being here not only for 1 year, but having my master's program go into 2 years is really helpful as well, because my parents are just itching to come over here as well. So I told my dad I went to Greenwich Park. And he was super like in awe, because he's a computer science guy, and the GMT time, and he was just I want to go there. And so it was really cool to like kind of, you not only it's kind of an unspoken thing that you don't really know, is how much, you relate to other people, and how much, people are, oh, you're there, I've always dreamt of being there. Or so it's kind of cool how many like dreams that you can help come true, and be like, yeah, if you ever want to come over and hang out, like, I'm here. So it's actually, it's really, really cool opportunity that we have.
And of course, like you just said, you're with Lions for this season and for next. So that's going to be really exciting for the Lions program, for Lions fans watching this. Also for yourself, how do you feel about that security of, that you're in a place or in a spot for 2 years? Yeah,
it's so my plan when I first came overseas was like, I'm just gonna bounce around for about 5 years and call it in, And but having the ability to bounce around for 2 years, understand the uncertainty of those kind of summers in between that you don't know if you're gonna get a call or not, is a little bit nerve wracking. So understanding that I'll be here for next year is a lot more kind of easing me into just like understanding the systems that will already be in place, and the trust that I have with Mark and just the organization as a whole and all that stuff. So it's really great. It honestly feels a lot like college. Just understanding what the coaches want, what the team wants, what I need to do for the team, and what I also like need to do for myself as well. So, and I get to explore London more, seeing that hopefully we'll be out of lockdown next year.
If they ever open up the border, check out Wales as well. Full of history.
Oh yeah,
nice place.
Yeah,
great people.
For sure. I'll try to pick up some Welsh as well.
There you go. Perfect.
How have you? Sorry.
Go on, Kaz.
How have you found the level of play in the WBBL compared to like Germany and college? Were you surprised by it, or did you know it was kind of what you were going into?
So the Spanish league is a lot different than a lot of other leagues, and it's hard to compare. But I do feel that the English league is a lot like the German league, where you run kind of more sets. It's a little bit more of team basketball. You're looking for, there's a definite point guard, definite shooting guard, definite post. There's a little bit more structure, so it's a lot more like university play in America as well. So I have found it really well. I mean, I think that I think I think it's difficult to. I think we just have a really strong team as well, so it's hard to match up against us. We have so many weapons. So but I think as you know, the WBBL and the BBL get more exposure, I would assume that more people, more bigger name players, will become more of a power league. And honestly, you know what? I guess LaMelo Ball did in Australia. I don't see why not other players would do that in the WBBL and BBL, because it's such an in between European play and that American US play. So I mean, I don't see why that can't be the next league. This league can't be the next league to do that.
It's funny you mentioned LaMelo Ball. Of course, he played 2 friendlies or 2 exhibition games against the London Lions, and
Okay.
it was like all-star. Like that first
Yeah.
one with Vitautas, it was crazy. That place, fans flocked in. The action was ridiculous. It was a good day. It was a good day.
Yeah, and it's just the city is just so vast, and I mean if you think about it, the time difference isn't much different than a California like a New York to California flight. So just having that opportunity to fly other teams in and get a bigger kind of name into London and England as a whole. So, and it's not like England's massive like the States where you'd have to drive 12 hours to the next, or 14 or 24 hours to the next game. So I don't see why not that this league can't just explode.
Rhiannon Bailey last week at the Mystics was saying she thinks that the WBBL is the strongest it's been. Like the talent in the league at the moment, she was just saying it's only getting better and growing.
Yeah.
Piggybacking on Caz's question from earlier, London Lions men, obviously, they had their first foray into Europe this season. Leicester Riders men had a go 2 seasons ago. London Lions women, I mean, could it happen moving forward?
I think it could happen. I think that there's been talks, and I would assume that would be the goal. I mean, I don't really see why not. I think we're up for the challenge, even though our team, as you could see, like during the Seven Oaks games, there's still things that we need to refine. We need to get a little bit more acclimated with each other, and we need to continue to push each other. But I do not see why not this team cannot be challenged by other bigger name teams, or go into that European kind of style of a Euro League, or it's Euro League, Euro Cup,
Euro
or
Cup.
Euro Cup.
Yeah.
Okay,
Euro Cup is
so
the
I don't
secondary
see why not.
competition.
Yeah, I don't see why not that Euro Cup wouldn't be. So I mean, it's not up to me. I'm up for a challenge any day, anytime. So we can lace them up and let's get it going. So I mean, that's why we play the game, right? We play the game
Absolutely.
not to just understand we're gonna win, but we play the game because we want to play the best. So
we don't have much longer with you. So I've got one more question. Caz, I'm going to give you the honor of asking the most important question we ask our guests here at Focus Hoops. But before we do that, I just want to get one more question in. Just what are your personal goals for the remainder of the season?
See, I don't like to. When I was in college, I would put so much emphasis on goals. So when I became a professional, I really just wanted to enjoy the game, the game for the moment, and just kind of have as much fun as I can in that 40 minutes, as long as Mark keeps me on the floor. So I think my goal is just to keep encouraging my teammates, keep knocking down shots, playing good defense, and kind of just working on that defense. Defense can always be worked on. So yeah, those would be my goals, and hopefully that leads us to into the playoffs and some big wins, and hopefully to the finals. So that would be the goal.
Awesome. All right, Caz, take it away. You know what to do.
So this is our focus hoops. Very important question. What's been your condiment of the year?
Condiment of the year. That's a good one. Huh. All right. The one meal. We're talking about meals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I make this black bean burger, and I put my favorite condiment on there is the strawberry jelly that I put on because it's sweet and salty.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So that would be it. So one side would be strawberry jelly, and the other side is avocado, tomato, and sometimes I put an egg on there, and then I put it all together with the black bean in the middle, and yep, that's my go-to. That's my go-to if I have nothing else left.
That sounds tremendous. A big fan of that. Let's.
Thank you.
We need a.
Try it out.
We need a cookbook corner.
Yeah, I'll post the recipe for you guys.
100%. That sounds great. All right, Cassie Breen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
this has been a blast.
Thank you.
Welcome anytime back on the Caz and Daz show. Best luck the rest of the season. And yeah, is there anything you want to plug just before you go?
There's not. Follow London Lions. Check out our games. We got 2 this weekend. So yeah, cheer us on or cheer on the other team, whichever you care. So come watch some WBBL, and BBL games and support the players. So thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Cassie Breen, thank you so much, and congratulations on Sunday.